Hey, how we doing? It's JJ. Another video, starting in a truck. That's right. I'm parked at the side of a road where there's an entrance that leads into a wood. And it's a wood that's actually been a massive, huge part of my life for over 40 years. It's my old permission wood. Just over a year ago, I walked into this wood to find an absolute complete abomination of some utter arsewipe that had made a camp and dug holes and trenches and had gas bottles in there and bags of rubbish. And I walked away from it. And I always said that I was never ever going to go back to that wood. And it's been a year and I keep driving past it. And I just kind of need to know how this wood is doing, because it's such an integral part of my life. Has been. I said I'd never go back to it, but sometimes the places that draw you the most are the ones that cling to you the most. And it is. I've spent so much time in this wood, so I've parked up. I've kind of been sat here for 10 minutes or so thinking, well, yeah, do I go in? Do I not go in? So I'm going to walk in the back part of the wood, and that will give me an idea on occupation within the wood before I get to the spot that I found trashed. So let's go and do this. Really active deer tracks down this back part of the wood, everywhere, trails everywhere, which is what I like to see. This is the old gully that comes out from the back of Bentham Lordship, leads down, cuts across the road, goes down to Aston End. Not walked this in a while. Cracking bit of trail down this gully on a mountain bike. Let's get up. Let's get into the wood. All this area here is completely overgrown. It's the back part of, let me switch you around. This is the back part of the wood, and this is where they brought in mechanical diggers and excavators. 4 years ago, to do a lot of the renovation of this wood. They did a lot of took down a lot of trees, and that's the bit that I used to walk up through at the back when I parked the truck down there. And it's completely overgrown, which is really encouraging, because I can't see that anyone's continued to use the old trail that goes up to the back part of the wood to the top glade. That's encouraging. I'm keeping my voice down, not because I have to, it's because for years I had permission to use this wood, but when I found the idiots that had destroyed that area of the wood, I basically told the landowner that I was handing my permission in. I no longer wanted to use it, and I always said if you ever wanted to come back, you're more than welcome. And I left that as an open invitation. So I don't actually need to keep my voice down, because I'm allowed to be in here. But wherever you go, there will always be other people that want to use that. Go to places you're not meant to. And we all do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Except the idiots that ruin it for others. My heart's racing. I don't know why. Is it the expectation of finding more crap and rubbish in the woods? I don't know, but my heart's racing. I want to walk out towards the glade. None of my senses are tingling. Do you know what I mean by tingling? When you just kind of suddenly become aware of a presence. other people, sights, sounds, smell. None of that's going at the moment. I'm about to walk out onto the glade. What's funny is I've only walked a couple of 100 metres. Now walking out towards the glade. A couple of fallow deer pronked away from me. Always used to see the fallow deer in this wood. There's a hunter's chair up there. No one's on it. Good sign. But what's interesting is that I've walked past trees that I've known for over 40 years. And I recognise those trees intimately. They have grown as I have grown. So I'm just looking at something. But the things that are catching my eye are the trees that have fallen down since I was last here. It has been just over a year. So it's starting to place the trees that have gone down. Say I've grown as these trees have grown. We feel good at the moment. What's that white bit behind me? You see that? It's just a gap in the trees right behind me. That's why I always film in selfie mode, so you can see what's behind you. Right. Down in that direction is where I found all that destruction last year. Now it's a Saturday afternoon. It's bluebell season. It's one of the best bluebell woods going on both sides. It's a Saturday afternoon. Cannot hear anybody, haven't seen anybody. Not seen any footfall, no footprints. I want to go round the back. I want to walk through that bluebell patch, because there will be deer trails to follow and badger trails, and that's when we're really going to see the state of play with this wood. Isn't that such a glorious sight? I'm on a trail. Protected species of plant, the bluebell. This is where the shit's going to get real. I'm going to walk over to where the old camp was. I'm going to pop you on pause. Motorbike down by the road. So it's obvious no one's really using this anymore. Some of the rubbish that's just been here, it's been here for a while. Some of it might be fresh, I don't know, I haven't been here for a year, but the whole thing is pulled down. This, I'll put up pics so you can remember what this looked like. They dug a fucking huge, excuse me, a huge 3.5, 4 foot trench in the ground. Took down loads of trees and branches and built shelter up over that with my old corrugated iron, which is still over there. Dug a, almost like an entrance. So I think they were trying to make a little tunnel into there. They'd used some of the Harris fencing from over the other side of the wood for another little shelter, but it's all been pulled down. It's all been pulled down, which is great, which is brilliant. But I hate to see all the shit here. So I am going to come back. I am going to come back, and we're going to do what we normally do in these situations. You, and you, and me. What do we normally do when we find situations like this? We clear other people's crap up. And this isn't a video aimed at people that do this kind of stuff, because those kind of people, as we all know, they don't watch these videos. But we still clear up, because you and many others and me, we have a respect. This has really made me happy to find it in this condition, which is still a shithole, but it's not kind of being used. Not recently. So we're going to make this better. But what I want to do is I want to walk over to where I had my original camp. So let's go over there. These little trails, sorry, I am at this point near the road before it climbs back up again. See these little trails? This is all false dog's mercury. All these little trails are just used by deer and badger. And I've been following down this trail for a little bit. Oh. Jack of the hedge, garlic mustard. And there's not a single footprint on them. Obviously there is now, because mine, but this leads up to my old permission. There's not been a single footprint that I've come across. Deer have just gone out in a bloody field. Shh. Oh, my heart is racing again. My heart is racing. Oh my days, I actually feel quite emotional. I'm actually quite emotional, sorry. I've pitched a larvu there so many times and taken pics just there with the sun coming through. I am actually quite emotional. I haven't been here for a year. I haven't been to this spot for a year. Could always hit the road. I knew that as a kid. When I started coming back here properly about 8 years ago, this place was a salvation for me in some really difficult, troubled times, and I've spoken about that before. And obviously the camp got destroyed here because of an errant estate worker, and I left it alone for 6 months, and then I come back. The woods were felled and I kept coming back. I mean, to find all that destroyed last year, that decimation in that area, just broke me a little bit. It broke me. It really did. It broke me. And we're back. How do I feel? Emotional. Coming back primarily just to clean that crap up, because that's what we do, and I've already said that. But this spot right here, I've camped here. I had a camp here. I had a little shelter here. That got destroyed. I kept coming here. I kept putting a lavoo up. I'd put a tarp up. I've climbed up that tree and just sat there. I've scrambled up these. I've just sat here on my days. I've got one more little bit to do. Hang on. Walk out. Now obviously what has changed is across the field you see all those little caravans and that. So you've got this field, this is the pasture field, road, field, river bean, field, and another field. Farmer of that area has divvied some plots out, and people have got little, not homesteads, not American homesteads, but people are doing chickens and leaving quite a lot of crap laying everywhere. Someone's making an orchard. But this is the view. That view right there, walking out. That village in the background was where my nan and granddad raised my mum and my aunts and my uncles, and I spent a lot of time there. Do you know what? For a year I was kind of just staying away, and I thought, you've got to, some of the hardest goodbyes are the ones that actually matter the most. And I've walked away from this wood thinking that was it, and I kind of thought I have to actually go back and say goodbye if it was going to be a goodbye. I'm not saying I'm ever going to have a permission back in this wood. I certainly wouldn't announce it. I might just use some other spots in the wood once I've cleaned up that rubbish. This has been a massive cathartic exercise for me to do today, as well as physical exercise. I'm going to walk back to my truck. I'm going to have a beer tonight because I actually feel happy that I've come back to this wood. Who knows what the future holds for this wood and me? I don't know. But when I do know, I'll let you know. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you again soon.